Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's in! Touchdown! Jalen Hurts! The Eagles are just devouring the Giants. And it is A.J. Brown again! Another touchdown!
Welcome back to the Linc Lineup. This is episode 21. So,
The
what are we thinking
Jalen
now?
Mills episode after he changed his uniform.
Thinking Bobby Taylor
Yeah, that'll work too.
or
Sidney Brown.
Yeah. Did Ronald Darby have 21?
Mm-hmm. I think Jalen changed. Mills changed it after. I think after Darby left. I think. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Welcome back. This episode, we're going to talk about the Eagles' thrilling win over the Washington Commanders this past Sunday. Got plenty to talk about, especially with the ever exciting trade deadline that just recently happened, where hashtag Howie season did not make any more moves. Led to kind of disappointing for some fans, I guess, including myself, but it is what it is. This is the team we have for the rest of the year, unless we make some kind of signing later on. But this is it. This is the team we're going to have for the rest of the year. So get used to it. But Eagles win 38-31. Bryce, what are your opinions, your first thoughts coming out of this game?
It was a good game. I think Washington did. They did what they were supposed to do. They made I think Eric Bean definitely made the right calls. Kind of is the same way, kind of the same thing that happened last time we played him. Sam Howell was able to get the ball out quickly, kind of neutralize the pass rush of the Eagles. So our holes in our secondary, they kind of showed a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily say they're holes just because, you have some veteran presence like in your secondary, but the secondary just didn't play well at all. But our whole defense relies on our pass rush. That's what we're built around. But all in all, I think it was a good game by the Eagles. They adjusted. The offense looked great. Jalen probably had his best game of the season so far. AJ's AJ. AJ's phenomenal. It's nice to see Devontae Smith got involved. All in all, it was a really good game. I liked it.
Yeah, we'll go more in depth in the defense here shortly. I went to this game. Saw in person. The stadium is about what everybody says is true. It's a shithole. Parking is a pain. It's only one way in, one way out. So it took me about an hour and a half to get home. It was only a 20-minute drive normally, but it took me an hour and a half. But yeah, it was an exciting game. There are some things to be frustrated about coming out of this game, mostly on defense. There are some offensive things that we can share our frustrations about. But overall, I don't consider it a 7-point game, like a one possession win, because at the end of the day, we were up 14. But defense played super soft and just let them go downfield. But at the same time, you could also say that we didn't have to score that touchdown on the brotherly shove sweep, I guess you want to call it. But let's talk defense first, because I feel like defense is the part of the show that we're going to spend the most time on. I don't think it was the secondary that was the issue. I think it was more the middle field with the linebackers. Mainly Nakobe Dean. Zach Cunningham had pretty decent pass coverage, but whenever they were like in a zone, it seemed like they were always in the wrong spot, and it was just like it was barbecue chicken in the middle of the field. And so I feel like towards the second half they put Nicholas Morrow in more, and it wasn't as bad. Now the secondary is going to have its issues just because we still haven't had a game where, like back-to-back games where the same secondary has lined up together. There's always been some injury here, some injury there, some new signing here. Now it's a trade. But now, I don't know if anybody's seen it on the broadcast or if you read about it, but they did a lot of rotating between Sidney Brown and Eli Ricks in the slot. And while that's cool, I guess, it does make it a little more difficult to gain chemistry within your secondary, just because, it's just rotating pieces. Um, but like you said, Sam Howell was and the Commanders kind of neutralized the Eagles pass rush by getting it out quick. What was very frustrating to watch, however, was it seemed like the Eagles cornerbacks were still like 5 yards off the ball, like 8 yards off the ball, and so everything was open. Like they wanted to get out, like a three-step drop and throw it. He looked like fucking Joe Montana out there, just hitting his back foot and then just letting it fly. So it was frustrating to watch. I do feel like the Eagles did kind of pick it up in the second half, and on defense, and then they took away a sack from Hassan Reddick, which was sad because tell you something, that intentional grounding those should be sacks, especially if the quarterback's just throwing it up in the air out on his way down. It should be a sack every time, especially if you call the flag. But he did have the strip sack at the end.
Yep.
To close the game out. It didn't really ease our sweat, I guess you want to call it. We were still nervous because, of course, the defense let them score. But yeah, defense just had a shaky game, which is weird coming off of the performance they had against the Dolphins. But division games are always weird. You always play your division opponent tough. It seems like it's always either going to be a blowout or a close game. That's how it's going to be. This one was a close game. Commanders always plays close for some reason. But yeah, that's my take on the defense. Bryce, got anything you want to add?
No. I'm curious to see what actually happened to Jalen Carter. Uh, it looked like he may just strained his back a little bit on one of his tackles, but read a report saying he feels a lot better the day after the game, and so it's going to be interesting to see when if he's able to go against Dallas.
Yeah, and we'll need him. We need him. We also need Jordan Davis to kind of rest up a little bit because watching him run off the field and run back on the field, you could definitely tell he was hurting. He could barely he could barely do it without limping. So I applaud him for playing the snaps he did play because it looked like he definitely was hurt. But yeah, defense, they'll get better. I believe in trying to decide. Kevin Byard, still new. Once he figures it out, I think he'll be super solid piece. Reed had a terrible game, except for that pick, which Reed did acknowledge it. And then at the press conferences, whenever they went to the locker room and stuff, he was hard on himself, and that's good. It's good that players taking accountability. Same with Sidney Brown, even though he said he sucked early on and figured out as the game went, and that's cool too because he hasn't played much, and he's getting his opportunities. Played a big hit on Terry McLaurin, which got the crowd definitely riled up at that point in the game. But yeah, defense will figure it out. They made Sam Howell look like Joe Montana, and that's okay. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Moving on to offense.
That team's in casualty fucking hell anyways. They traded everybody yesterday.
Yeah, the Eagles ruined the Commanders. So. They went from team with seven seed playoff hopes to tanking. So didn't think they would trade both Montez Sweat and Chase Young, but they traded both of them.
It's good to get them out of the division.
Yep, but we can see Chase Young one more time, possibly two more times. And on the drive home from Maryland, I thought to myself, has there ever been a player that's played a team 4 times in 1 year? Figured that might be unheard of. But moving on to offense, I think the biggest frustration coming from this game, it comes from one player and one player only, that would be Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell has been the topic of frustrations for the majority of the year. I don't have his stats pulled up, but I can tell you by heart that he's only had one game where he's averaged over 5 yards per carry, and that's the game he had 2 carries for like 18 or 16 yards. So can't remember, but the rest of them are like 3.1, 3.2, 2.8, 2.6. Not good. And then he fumbled the ball in the red zone. To put in perspective, the Eagles fumbled the ball twice in the red zone, not just only in the red zone, but within the 5-yard line. And the brotherly shove. I was already celebrating whenever the ball got snapped. I was like, we got it. And then all of a sudden, the Commanders players are celebrating. I'm like, well, the ball probably already got over the end zone, and nope, that didn't happen.
I think it was just the exchange, the handoff never got actually to Jalen.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if they probably smacked the ball as it got snapped, because weren't they the team that had the hand underneath the ball, or was that the Jets?
No, they did.
Yeah. So
Deron Payne had his hands up underneath the ball.
Yeah, I can only imagine what they were doing during that pre-snap. But Kenneth Gainwell, they had to get him off the field. He's a solid player, but he's not somebody you give the ball to in like crucial situations, especially with DeAndre Swift back there. And I know you don't want to like run him into the ground, but we have Boston Scott, we have Rashad Penny. I know Rashad Penny is a shell of his former self, as we've seen in the preseason and I guess during the Vikings game. But I mean, he's a big dude, and we need a power back, as some people are saying, but he fits that mold. So why not just make Kenneth Gainwell inactive for a couple of games? And
that's what I was just thinking.
Just let Boston, Rashad, and DeAndre kind of run the show for a little bit, because I don't know if you saw it, but Kenneth Gainwell was messaging the dudes on Instagram at halftime. Fuck you doing, pal?
Yeah, shows you really care.
Yeah, it's not hard not to fumble the ball. I mean, just take care of it. Just 2 hands on that motherfucker when you feel contact. But, he was ass. But the question I have for you and for anybody that's listening is, do you think it's a 2-part question? Do you think that the Eagles offense is truly just AJ Brown? And part B to that question is that a problem if the answer is yes?
No, I don't think so. But at the same time, you have AJ on this like historic run right now. It's kind of hard to shy away from him because he's making plays. You know what I mean? I mean, he's gaining trust. I mean, if not, I mean, him and Jalen are they're good friends. I mean, so if I'm Jalen and I see this guy just always open, he's going to get the ball. You know what I mean? I mean, he's on this historic run. Nobody in the league history has ever done what he's been doing. He's doing it in big time spots too, where they absolutely need him. So it's not like they're just force feeding him the ball every time. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to go away from something if it's working. You know what I mean?
To answer that question, at least to answer my own question, I don't think so. I mean, we saw Devontae have 99 yards and a touchdown. Dallas Goedert was involved. Some of the stuff was just like where he kind of leaked out. It was designed though, just kind of get easy catches for him. But I mean, it's not. He's just like the cream of the crop, I guess, on this offense. That's, in my opinion, right now is humming. But I don't think it's a problem. I think eventually teams will start dedicating more, resources towards AJ, and everybody else will get open because they don't suck. No,
Yeah.
do. So it's only a matter of time before everybody gets theirs. But I do hope this run for AJ continues.
I don't know. Quez sucks.
Quez does suck. And I hope he doesn't see the field again. But unfortunately, here's how I think the pecking order is going to be. I think it's going to be AJ, Devontae, 3A and 3B will be Julio and Quez, depending on, I guess, like the matchups. And then the odd man out would be Alameda Zacchaeus. And it makes me sad because I feel like Alameda's done some good, but he hasn't been super productive. So he's a likable guy, but I don't think he's done enough while Quez has been out.
Yeah.
But speaking of Julio, what a great catch. What a great catch. And then just seeing the team just kind of rally to him after he caught the ball and just celebrate with him was awesome. It just shows what the culture's like in the locker room. It's definitely like a winning culture. And you know, speaking of great catches, you can't go without talking about the AJ catch in the corner of the end zone. Beautiful to see live, which was on my side of the field, but I saw it look beautiful. Couldn't believe it happened. I thought that maybe he didn't complete the catch for a little bit because you always had that kind of sinking feeling in your stomach whenever something good happens. Um, he did catch it. He caught it, and then last but not least, he had a great catch on Manuel Forbes for a touchdown. I don't know why they put him out there. I don't know why they put him on AJ.
Death taxes and AJ catching a touchdown over Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, and it was funny because I saw a lot of Manuel Forbes jerseys. For one,
Really?
so for one, um,
I bet they
I,
bought them some bitches before the season started.
that's what I want to say is like if it's cool, I understand buying it before the season starts because like you want a Jalen Carter jersey before it started. But if I buy the jersey and he's ass, he already got benched, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah.
I'll wear a t-shirt before I wear that. But this offense is figuring out. I like where they're headed. I don't think that the offense will be an issue going forward, and I don't think the defense is going to be an issue going forward. I feel like the defense will figure itself out. The only thing that we really have to worry about and keep an eye on is Jalen's knee. I was watching an all 22 from Johnny Page, and I don't know if you saw it, but there's a drop back at some point where he like his knee buckled and he stumbled.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I
and
missed that one.
I'll send it to you after. But he dropped back, and as he's like trying to plant his back foot, he like kind of stumbled and then caught himself and then with the pass to AJ still, but um, it was on the AJ pass where like he caught it and he got tackled at the 2 yard line, and then we fumbled the ball, I think. But yeah, offense did good, defense did not do good, but that's okay. That's okay. Anything else I want to talk about before we wrap this bad boy up?
But see, like it's what is weird about Jalen's knee is the biggest thing that scares me. If this happened towards the end of the year, I would feel a lot better about it. But we still have so much of the season left. What's scaring me because all it really takes with that bone bruise is and because you're already walking like gingerly on it, you're aware of it that it's there. All it takes is like one hit to the side of his leg or something like that to his knee, and that that knee bruise could turn into something even worse.
Right.
Uh, and there's a long season left, and that's what makes me nervous about it.
And I'm gonna see the video right now. It is a long season, but you just gotta hope that obviously everybody's saying get to the bye, but at the same time, um, the bye is not the end all be all for fixes for injuries and stuff. It is just 1 week. Granted, you can rest for the whole week. He'll feel better coming out of the bye, but you can't guarantee that he will be. He's not going to be 100% when we come out of the bye. I feel like that's what some people think, and um, it's just not going to happen. But he played great. And if he can scramble like a little bit, whenever the play breaks down and he can deliver in the pocket like he was this game. This is a great sign for the future for whenever he gets older and his legs don't work like they should, and then it just shows that he can win wherever he has to do, he can win. And um, I just need him to clean up his turnovers. That's all I need him to do. Once he cleans those up, I think think he can go back in the conversation of like top 3 quarterbacks. So far this year, just he has the same amount of turnovers or interceptions as Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, I believe. It's crazy to
Yeah.
think about. But I love Jalen, even though sometimes I hate him. I think he's a little robotic and it pisses me off. I wish he'd just give us like clear answers in the press conferences. And then of course you see him giggle like a toddler whenever he's with his buddies.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think
He
this
told
Eagles.
he,
Yeah.
he told Jalen Waddle not spanking that ass, dog.
Wait, you won't hear that in the press conference.
Nope.
But the Eagles team is 7-1. They're the best. They're the best record in the NFL. And then we're going into we're currently in Dallas week.
Do you still believe, like, with everything that's going on in the league, trades and everything else, that they're still the clear number 1 team in the league?
I think so. I don't think they have any flaws right now. I know secondary might be an issue for some. The only person I really have an issue with right now is James Bradbury, and that's in the secondary, because I don't know what's going on with him, but he's kind of looks like he's like a step slower. And then I know a lot of people were like on Darius Slay. Darius Slay hasn't played bad. It just seems like he's always near the big play, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I don't see any weaknesses really.
Would it be kind of blown out of proportion to say that James or Darius, probably James, won't be back next year?
I don't think either won't be back. I don't know how the contract thing is, but
Well, they're both owed a lot of money next year.
then they're both gonna be back next year. Man, we're fucked. So
Yeah.
but if I had to guess, if they had to get rid of one person, I think it'd be I don't know. I think it'd be hard to get rid of Slay.
Yeah. Slay's kind of planted himself within, like, the organization and, like, within the city. So
Yeah, the only problem is I don't know if they'll hold on to him a little too long. Like, just kind of let him be here.
because what is he, 33 now?
I think he's 32 or 33. And then next year, if he is 33, that's 34 years old. He's 32. He he turns 33 on the 1st of January.
Well, we'll be playing football then. So
Oh damn, I forgot. Yeah, he'll be 33 by the end of this year. I mean, if he keeps on working out and he stays in shape, and he can hang out a little bit longer than some can, because he is still an elite cornerback, I think. Um, but I feel better about the future seeing Eli Ricks kind of step up and get playing time. Um, not
shout
saying
out
he's
Jordan.
not saying he's great or anything, but it's nice seeing him step up and play meaningful snaps. Whereas
Yeah.
Josh Jobe completely fell out of you know
Any kind of contention. Yeah.
yeah, because I believe Darius Slay got hurt in that game, and then instead of Josh Jobe being out there, they put Eli Ricks out there instead. So we'll see what happens.
I'd like to see. I don't know. It's kind of Keely is the one that's kind of the question mark, the mystery to me. I don't know if he just sucked or he's just like other players have kind of stepped up to the point that he's kind of just being left behind.
Well, he's doing a special teams thing.
Yeah.
That's why he's not inactive. So he's getting consistent time there, which is good. Um, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I definitely think he'll be able to play either next year or the next. They're just going to develop him, and hopefully with Darius Slay there, he'll help him out. But we'll see what happens with that. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Mm, since we were on the topic of the future, uh, kind of curious on what the route's going to be like in the draft with, like, the cornerback situation. But it's also to the point where, like, what this team does every time and what they build their teams on. So it wouldn't surprise me if they go on the D line again. Or even the offensive line with Lane talking like he only wants 2 to 3 more years, and then you got Jason Kelsey. It's gonna be and Fletcher. Like Fletcher's that him retiring, but I think they've kind of submitted themselves with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter as like the future nose tackles, but
And
depth doesn't
and
hurt.
Milton Williams says the interior lineman. So,
Yeah.
um, biggest issues. I mean, talking about the future, the biggest issues are definitely cornerback, Lane's replacement, and there's one more I was thinking, maybe linebacker. Because I feel like Sidney Brown will eventually be safety, alongside Reed, whether it's next year or the next. I feel like Reed's going to be here for a while. Like we said, cornerback, we're getting old, but we do have younger players. It's yet to be seen if they develop or not. Defensive line, I mean, you could put D end as like another spot for the future because we only have two defensive ends that are actually playing and
It's real top heavy.
producing. Nolan Smith hasn't done anything yet. Um,
He needs
but
more snaps though, man. Because
yeah,
the snaps that he has, he's looked good. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is he's only got 4 snaps last game, I believe. So, um, you want to see him get out there and get his feet wet a little bit more, instead of running, Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat into the ground.
there's no
Uh,
fucking way Derek Barnett's here next year anyway. So I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if somehow someone he gets cut. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But
what if there's any like veteran edge rushers out there that could probably take his spot? I know
I don't know.
JPP, like he said, is out there still.
Yeah, he is, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're
Not,
gonna do
yeah.
anything.
I don't
I
know
think.
if we said that last year though. I mean, like right in the middle of the season, they bring guys in, but and those two things hit. They worked out, but uh, I think edge rusher is a little bit more. I don't know. It's a little bit interior is probably a little bit deeper than edge rusher is out on the market.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is I feel like I know I mentioned Lane's placement. Does Tyler Steen have like right tackle? Was he?
He mainly played left tackle.
Well, I know Jordan
But
Mailata can play right tackle.
yeah,
Um, I want to see more Tyler Steen. I know we won't be able to unless an injury happens because he played 6 snaps, second quarter, and he was boxing people out there. He was throwing fists.
yeah,
Um, he did pretty good. He did pretty good. So, um,
yeah. Here's some of the edge rushers that you got. Robert Quinn, but I'm sure he's in jail. Melvin Ingram, he's 34. It says Jadavion Clowney's on here, but no, he plays for the Ravens. Carlos Dunlap, is he still around?
yeah, how many options?
No.
There might be a practice squad guy somewhere that we just pick up and take some snaps, but we just don't. We just need more players to be able to take some snaps away from uh, Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, just so they can get a breather. But
Yeah.
because Derek Barnett's just a guy out there just running around. Uh, but that pretty much wraps up this show. It is Dallas week, so be excited to talk Cowboys Eagles next episode. Big one. It's a big one. If the Eagles win, they get a nice little cushion. In the NFC and the NFC East, they need that cushion with the Cowboys' next couple games coming up. They have the Commanders, Panthers, and Giants. But they also get a hard schedule after that as well. So,
Yep.
we made a big deal about our schedule coming up. But Cowboys do have a tough schedule as well. And then the 49ers could lose to anybody at this rate. But maybe we stop talking about the 49ers and we start talking about the Seahawks challenging us for the 1 seed. Even though I just don't believe in Geno. But it's Dallas week. Get ready for a big game on Sunday. I'm excited. Most people are excited for this game. We'll talk about it like Friday. Yeah, it's a good day to be Eagles fan. Top of the NFL. And hopefully this year we finish this one off. But yeah, as always, if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast at, leave us a review, comment on it, tell us what you like about the show. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do with that. Follow us on all socials at Linc Lineup, and as always, go Birds.
Go Birds.